What's up, fantasy managers? The fantasy playoffs is just right around the corner, and we have streamer options for Week 14 to get you there. Then we're going to review the players who smash and the players who crash, and fantasy news that happened over the weekend. I know you're interested, so stick around for 7 seconds.
You can do it!
Hey, what's up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the Undertaker Youth the Bolt, coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is Fantasy Red Zone. Today's episode, we are going from our trade talk since, trade season is pretty much over, Jason. I think today or tomorrow, that is it. And we're moving to our streamers. We're going to start dabbling in the streamers. So that is going to be a big section today. We also have our smashes and our crashes. If somebody did shitty, go to the crashes. If somebody did really good, and you're like, why the hell did they do so good? Go to the smashes. Thank you, Jason. And hey, we got news for yous. There's a lot of stupid news going on in the NFL right now. Just ask Zach Wilson, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, but before we get into all of that, Jason, would you please tell the public how they can help this show because we need it?
Yep. If you guys made it this far, if you could please hit the subscribe. Press the like. We like the likes. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do something different.
Is that The Godfather, or do you have a dip in? I thought you quit dipping.
These shoes? Robert De Niro, man. You got baby juice on these shoes? If you leave us a comment, let us know about your smash or your crash. We want to know. We're also on the radio on Spotify, the Fantasy Red Zone.
Thank you, Jason. So let's get into the news for yous. Zach Wilson, we just mentioned him, Jason. That is the quarterback situation is pretty fucking crazy in New York right now. Tim Boyle, I think something happened to him. They're like, hey man, Zach Wilson, we need you to start again. Is that okay? And he's like, hey, I'm good, dude. I am okay, just sitting here. And then they're like, oh well. Then the last report was Aaron Rodgers is trying to persuade Zach Wilson to starting. It's like, what the fuck, dude, is happening right there? Like Green Bay is killing it. Jason, who else did he? Mike McCarthy's killing it. And here we go, dude. Aaron Rodgers is trying to convince his backup quarterback just to go play some fucking football.
Isn't that crazy? Like, why would he want to play?
Cause, dude, he's just like, it's just like, hey, I am not the problem here. You guys are the problem. Go fix it. Nobody wants to play for me anyways, dude.
Zach Wilson, the magician, dude. He's crazy. Fooled everybody on his pro day, but
he's too busy out here banging old chicks.
He's probably like in a dark room with Aaron Rodgers, just freaking making out.
Aaron Rodgers' mom.
His mom? Jeez. They're just like,
Aaron Rodgers talked to his mom. Man. So he would not care.
It's not my fault. It's the Jets' fault, man.
Oh man, I'm throwing all kinds of jokes out there, Jason, because Zach Wilson bangs his mom's friends, and then I said but Aaron Rodgers doesn't care because he doesn't talk to his mom. That's funny too, right?
Damn, he doesn't.
He doesn't talk to his family. So that was like the big rumor a long time ago.
Oh, you know what? I think that's true. And the only reason why I know that is because his brother was like on The Bachelor, and Brittany used to talk about that all the time.
That's how we got a story out.
He doesn't talk to Aaron Rodgers anymore.
He was the golden and green bachelor, Jason. Because they're doing the golden bachelor right now.
Are they? Oh, they are, yeah.
I was just saying, golden and green. You get it? Because the Packers. Anyways, enough of this bullshit. Tank Dell, Jason, had surgery this morning on his broken leg. So he was the guy that was going to ride. You're going to ride like Amon-Ra Brown his rookie season, man. He was going to win you a league. That is not happening. CJ Stroud, dude. We'll talk about him in a second. But he should be okay because there are people to fill in. Noah Brown. Check out the waiver wire show, though, Jason. Tank Dell. What did you think about him leaving the game?
That sucks. He was a guy that I was trying to go after. A lot of people were trying to go after this dude. He's a rookie. He was having a good season with CJ Stroud. That was a good stack to have on your team, and then he gets hurt. But should be ready by next season.
Next season, I'm guessing he will be a 4th round, 5th round draft pick, and I would be targeting him in the 5th round-ish, I guess. But we got to remember, dude, broken fucking leg. So that is going to play a big part. Tony Pollard broke his leg last year. Nobody gave a shit. They still drafted him super high, and look what happened. So we're going to have to remember this in the offseason, Jason, that he broke his goddamn leg. Don't hype him up too much. Jason, Ramondre Stevenson is out. Did you know they play on Thursday night?
Yes.
I know because I think you're covering the Patriots or something like that, Jason.
Yep.
So yeah, week 14 already declared out. I was looking for the severity of this ankle sprain. There's nothing out yet, just that he was declared out this week. So Ezekiel Elliott, go pick up that fool.
Yeah, as soon as I saw his injury, I saw the ankle turn and everything. I'm like, dude, he's not playing Thursday. So I started doing my notes on Ezekiel Elliott. I was like, bing, bing, bing. I ain't playing around. There's a little hint for the video I'm coming out. I'm not playing around. Okay.
What was that? I was trying to figure out what the fucking music was that you were just acapella.
When I type that fast, like the noise from the keyboard makes a little tone.
What do you type? Did you type with an old school fucking like a typewriter?
Yeah, man. That's the only way to get the accuracy of each ink print.
All right, dude. So, anyways, Ramondre Stevenson out, Ezekiel Elliott in. Do that. Derrick Henry, Jason, is not. I repeat, he is not. Don't ask Mike Vrabel because he is not in concussion protocol. So, I'm a Tyson Spears owner. I was all hyped the fuck up, Jason. I was like, hey, I got a number one running back for a minute, and that's not going to happen, dude. So, Derrick Henry apparently is fine. Just left with I don't know, dude, a brain bruise. That's another word for a fucking concussion.
he left with confusion. Yeah, that, you know what? I also noticed, I didn't know this before, but then I noticed after that his game is on Monday night, and I'm like, oh, dude, I don't know if I want to risk it and put Tyjae Spears in there now. I didn't know it was a Monday night game that he plays next.
That sucks. I did not know that either. For me, so whatever. I'm in the playoffs. I was in first place anyways, but fuck, man, that sucks. Jason, Kenny Pickett had ankle surgery this morning. Matt Canada experiment. You know, they jettisoned him. They got 400 yards. Well, guess what? All that doesn't matter anymore. Maybe George Pickens will do better with Trubisky. Jason, I think Deontay Johnson caught a touchdown with Trubisky, correct?
Yes, he did. It seemed like Deontay Johnson got most of his points when Trubisky was in.
Yeah, so
how much can you trust that though?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that for Freiermuth, because I remember Freiermuth having the connection with Pickett last year over Trubisky, and now Trubisky's back. If you picked up Freiermuth, bad luck. Start defenses against the Steelers. Jason, CJ Stroud leads the NFL in passing yards. That has not happened since 1939 when goddamn probably Frank Tarkenton or some shit like that from Minnesota Vikings or something like that. I don't even know what it is because I don't pay attention that far back in football history.
That is crazy. I didn't know that. So he surpassed Sam Howell? He did.
Yeah, and I was thinking like Andrew Luck probably had one of the best rookie seasons ever, you know, as far as record goes. And dude, CJ Stroud is going to match that this year probably. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and Sam Howell's actually number 2, but he's on a bye this week. So CJ has a chance to fuel the jet. Fuel the jet.
I don't know what that's from either when you'd say fuel the jet. Fuel the jet.
It's some stupid line from Transformers 2. It doesn't even make sense. That's why I say it.
Dude, I want to
fuel the jet. Fuel the jet.
The preview for the new King Kong Godzilla movie came out, and I watched it, and the fucking hand came out, and it was Bumblebee's hand, man. It was a Transformer crossover. No, it was some other giant ape with a like armor on his hand. I was like, dude, how dumb are these Transformer movies gonna get? I quit watching after like the dude with the ball sack, the giant ball sack.
Wait, that was a Transformer movie?
No, that was not a Transformer, but it looks just like it. Go watch it.
Oh, it's probably Thanos.
But, you know, I don't put anything out of the realm of the Transformer movies. They could be fucking in the Alien and Predator crossover. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Jason, Jason, Darius Leonard, now known as Shaq Leonard, signed with the Eagles. That is bad for the Cowboys. But apparently this guy was all of his defensive metrics were terrible. But now he has an amazing defensive front with him. So that's going to clean up a lot of what he was probably lacking on. He's an undersized linebacker, Jason. Like defensive rookie of the year. Going over to the Eagles, that should be a boost to their defense.
Yeah, I wonder how many snaps they're going to give him in his first week.
Probably not much. They're going against the Cowboys too. So
good. At home again, or at Dallas.
And this is big, Jason. Tyrod Taylor getting off of IR. They can start his practice window today. Dude, if Tyrod Taylor gets in there, Jalen Hyatt Darren Waller on your IR. I'd say go try to trade for Darren Waller. If Tyrod Taylor makes it back, holy shit. But yeah, Tyrod Taylor, dude, is a huge upgrade over any quarterback, including Daniel Jones for the Giants.
Plot thickens. I totally forgot about Darren Waller.
Yeah, dude, on IR. I mean, I think, what was that, 3 weeks ago? He'll be coming back soon. And then Jason, Derek Carr is in concussion protocol. We'll talk about him in a second. But yeah, dude, that fool looked terrible. I had to watch that game. I'm an Alvin Kamara owner. Alvin Kamara is like, what the fuck, dude? He's breaking people's legs on the sideline. Doesn't give a shit. He's like, he just gives him a look and walks away. He hates football so much right now, Jason.
Yeah, I think Taysom Hill was doing a possession.
Oh, dude, I was so pissed.
At quarterback, and then when Derek Carr came back on the field, like the Saints fans were all booing him.
Yeah. No, seriously, Derek Carr sucks this year, dude. Sucks. Bako boy with the fake accent.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
I'm from Bakersfield. It's like, yeah, so am I, dude. You're from the rich side of town. Shut the fuck up.
I know Buck Owens.
I know Buck Owens could suck it. All right. Jason. Oh yeah. Christian Watson left the fourth quarter with a hamstring injury last night, Jason. That is worth monitoring. 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns the last 4 weeks. He's a big part of Jordan Love's success. He was doing terrible without him. So, yeah, Christian Watson, man, monitor that. And I would say Dobbs and Jalen Reed are probably worth starting next week.
I know, dude. And Watson's second touchdown was probably his best catch of his career. Going up and Randy Mossing over somebody.
Mossed.
Because he mossed somebody. He doesn't normally have the hands. He drops a lot, but that looked pretty good. Now he's out. Is Romeo Dobbs going to be the guy again? How did Dobbs do last night?
Jason.
There's only one way to find out. Yeah.
All right. Did your wife ever make you watch that Leonardo DiCaprio, Romeo and Juliet movie?
He got 9 points. He got over 10 points. Did she make me? No. Did I do it because I wanted to? Yes.
I was like, is that Romeo Must Die? No, I think Romeo Must Die is a Jet Li movie.
Oh, that one's cool too.
I think that one was cool. I was like, I like that one. All right, dude. Sorry, I don't know why I'm talking about this shit. You ready for some streamers? I want to hit up some streaming defenses, some defenses that we need to pay attention to. Looking at scoring trends, Jason. So teams that have scored the least amount of points over the last month. This is over the last month for these stats, Jason. Who do you think that stands out? Teams that you would think do not score points.
Offenses or defenses? Sorry.
Offenses.
That doesn't score points.
Just points per game, super low, over and under.
Atlanta?
Dude,
the Patriots?
On this list. Nope. Dude, the Raiders, the Titans, the Bears, the Bucks. So anyways, the Raiders, dude, 15 points per game over the last month. So they've been playing defense and running the hell out of the ball. I don't see that changing. Jason, they are against Minnesota this week. Minnesota, man, should be a great defensive play this week. He's available, I think, on our waivers in our 12-man league, so he should be on your waivers as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, this is great because now's the time where you should hog up defensives.
Dude, and Minnesota does not allow anything on the ground, man. Their fucking run defense has been amazing for half of the season. The second half of the season, I should say. So what are they going to do? That rookie quarterback's going to have to throw it to Devontae Adams. I just traded Devontae Adams for Justin Jefferson. Jason, the Titans, all right? They are only scoring 16 points per game over the last month. Rookie quarterback. They are going against Miami this week. So Miami, dude, has been a good defense. I think they were one of the top defensive plays last week. And now this week again, man, they get the Titans.
Yeah, Miami actually has back-to-back weeks with return touchdowns on defense. So,
goddamn. Well, I noticed.
I said, goddamn.
They've been outscoring Dallas Cowboys.
Hey.
Yeah, hey. Jason, the Bears, man, 18 points per game, even with Justin Fields back for a couple games, not great. They get Detroit this week. I think Detroit is probably taken, but if they are out there, that is a strong play. Even though I'm going to talk shit about them in a minute. But still, dude, the Bears, I would still start any defense almost against the Bears.
And you say Detroit's at home?
Oh, shit. I don't have it written down. Sorry.
No, it's
Maybe.
fine. I mean, maybe it could. You know what? There's a
Let me
50-50
see.
chance, I would say.
I've got it right here, dude. Let me. Whenever I'm actually looking for something. Oh, why does it say the Bears and the Browns week 15? What week are we in right now, Jason?
14.
Oh my God. Why do I have Detroit on here?
Who's
What was I
Detroit
looking
play?
at? Oh my God, dude. Did I fuck all this up? No. No, we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, the Bears. Week 14. No, this is week 14 now. This is week
Yeah.
14. Oh my
We are-
God. Oh, I thought I just
We-
did all the wrong stats for the wrong week.
No.
I was like,
No.
oh,
You're fine.
the
Yeah,
Bears
but
are at home.
they're
That's
at home against Detroit. Yeah.
But you know what? I like that because I don't want Justin Fields on turf or in a dome.
Yeah, I think the highest points, what's their name? The Chicago Bears have scored was against, I want to say, did they play the Broncos? I know the Redskins or the Commanders earlier this year.
Yeah.
But other than that, they really don't produce a lot.
And then Jason, the Buccaneers have only scored almost like 18.8 points per game over the last month. That is not great. Mike Evans getting all those goddamn points. They are versus Atlanta. If Atlanta is out there, they've got great cornerbacks and they stop the run, dude. So they should do a great job against the Bucs. That is a divisional game, so weird shit can happen. Jason, and then the Bengals are only scoring 19 points a game. That's with their backup quarterback. Indianapolis, their fucking defense has got to be available because they have been so bad. But I do think that if you need to stream Indianapolis versus them, the Bengals, I think you can do that. And then Jason, I've got two more. Carolina has allowed an NFL low 5 opposing quarterbacks to reach 10 fantasy points this season. So, dude, they are holding quarterbacks to like no points.
Wow.
They get Derek Carr or Winston next, dude. So Carolina defense, if they're available, great play.
I mean, either way, right? Derek Carr doesn't score any points, and Jameis Winston loves to throw interceptions.
Dude, he literally threw an interception in his first pass, and it bounced off the guy's hands, and the guy caught it. Olave caught it, and I was like, "What the fuck, James Winston?"
He
is so crazy. He literally comes in, throws it deep, and almost gets it intercepted every time he touches the ball, dude. It's insane. And then Jason, lastly, because we talked about the Jets, who are they going against? The Texans defense. Dude, the Texans defense is turning into a beast. They've got DeMeco Ryans. They've got a Singletary. I can't remember the Will Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
So they are turning into a beast. So those are the defenses I like, Jason.
Yeah, who's going to be the quarterback for the Jets?
It might be who's the owner? Woody Johnson?
Woody Johnson? Maybe I'll go try out.
It's going to be Robert Saleh because I'm pretty sure a coach can play quarterback if it comes down to that.
He probably could.
He'll just hand it off. Pound the defense. Pound the ball.
I would never throw it to Garrett Wilson because I'm mad at him.
Because he started doing well after you traded him?
Yeah.
I don't know how he's been doing lately. I haven't checked in a while, ever since this dumpster fire started going on.
Well, yeah. The Jets have not been producing much, so.
All right, I'm going to transition, Jason, to some players that are not really widely owned.
Okay.
But I want to go through, I was looking at defenses that have allowed the most points over the last 3 weeks, because that's the only stat I could find on that. So, man, I want to hit up the Lions first, Jason, because, hey, the Lions were shutting everybody down in the beginning. I got to watch this game, too. The Lions defense, man, who'd they let back in the game? Was it the Saints? I think the Saints.
Was it Saints in Detroit, right?
Dude, and I was like, oh, my God, dude. The Lions are getting back to their old ways of just letting people fucking score the ball, okay? So the 5th most points allowed over the last 3 weeks, and they were also scoring the 3rd highest. So this is what I like so much about the Lions, Jason. Like we like to target them over the last couple of years because they put up points and let everybody score. So it was just like, dude, fantasy, fucking jackpot every single time. And now we're getting back to that, Jason. Like, dude, they're giving up a ton of points and they're scoring a ton of points. It's like every single Lions game, Jason's been a shootout.
Now we're back to fantasy relevance for everybody on that Lions defense. Well, maybe, I don't know. We'll talk about this, or on offense. We'll talk about this a little bit later. Like, how many of those players are actually fantasy factors when the Lions are still scoring like 30 points? We'll talk about that.
So, Jason, they are going against Chicago. So I expect a great game from DJ Moore, the usuals, Kmet and Fields. But hey, their backfield has been murky, dude. I mean, I think everybody on their backfield's less than 50% owned, Jason. Is there anybody in their backfield that you happen to like? I mean, I love Deontay Foreman when he comes back. Yeah.
Foreman.
So he was on the waiver wire show. I think he's still probably their number one running back, I bet you, when he gets back, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, dude, I think that all three of the running backs, you should check to see like who's healthy and who's not. And you can stream the running backs. But then, Jason, do you think that Mooney or like, I don't know, I haven't really been paying attention to the Bears so much with Justin Fields, but
I don't think Mooney at all.
Exactly. I was like, I don't even think I think it's just DJ Moore and Kmet, really? I mean, right? For pass catching.
Right. And it's like sometimes not even commit. It's just running the ball.
Yeah, so look for good games for them, but I think that you can stream a running back, which is rare, available running back, and you can stream them against the Lions this week. I remember when the Lions weren't allowing shit, and I watched that game, dude. Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill. You can run on the Lions.
Yeah, I think Alvin Kamara was like his first rushing touchdown in quite a few weeks that he got against the Lions.
Yeah. Oh, dude, good point. And I do want to say Alvin Kamara should have had 3 rushing touchdowns, but they kind of made it right. He ran down and like got rejected at the goal line. Then they brought Taysom Hill in and ran a fucking touchdown. That was supposed to be Alvin Kamara got it turned back, scored a touchdown, got a turn back. Then they put Taysom Hill out there. He vultured it. But then the same thing happened to Taysom Hill later on. Taysom Hill ran it all the way down to the 1. And they're like, are they going to take Taysom Hill out? And they're like, yes, they are. And I was like, yeah, because they have to pay Kamara back. Kamara's out here fucking pissed at the world, dude. Make Kamara happy.
Yeah.
So to people saying that he should have had 3, he got his 2 that he deserved. Jason, next up, I do want to target the Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia.
We're down in Philadelphia. Now, the teams that we always want to target, Jason, are on bye this week. I think it's Washington and fucking somebody
Cardinals.
else. Oh, the Cardinals. Those are the teams I'm like, start everybody against. So the top 2 teams that you want to stream against are not possible this week. And that sucks because this is an important week, Jason, for playoffs. But Philadelphia, dude, they have been allowing the second most points over the last 3 games, given they've had a tough stretch. But still, dude, Dallas, when I'm looking at that team, I think that you can stream Brandon Cooks. And I almost wrote down Rico Dowdle, but no thanks. I want pass catchers. So I think that Brandon Cooks is who I would be streaming for Dallas this week.
Absolutely. And isn't he on a touchdown streak?
I think like so. And the over and under in this game, Jason, is like 50-something points.
Oh, my gosh. Well, after what they saw freaking Seattle or Geno Smith did, they're like, damn, their defense sucks.
No shit. So I can't, but can you think of anybody else? Because you're the Cowboys fan. Because I was like, dude, Ferguson's too highly owned. And then it's CeeDee Lamb, dude, and then Brandon Cooks. And I know that Gallup was targeted a little bit last game, but I still wouldn't trust Gallup. I'd trust Cooks over Gallup.
Yeah, Cooks, sorry, he has 5 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns in the last 6 games.
I bet he gets one this game, dude. Like, I really do. So
yeah, the last time they played against Philadelphia,
it was just the week before last.
Yeah, they were able to shut him down, but the Cowboys, they're different at home. Dak Prescott sharing the wealth, giving it to everybody that they can. I think he could be a good play. I think Gallup maybe a little bit of a stretch just because he's very inconsistent.
14-man leaguer.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, we go everything off of 12-man half-point PPR. So if you're ever wondering what we really go off of, it's kind of that. It's like the league. It's like the most average thing that we could find, and it's what we are in ourselves, anyways.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
Next up, Seattle defense is something I am targeting right now. You just talked about. Oh, dude, you saw that shootout with Dallas. They are allowing the 3rd most points over the last 3 games, and they are also scoring some points, dude. So that is good. And then I'm looking, they are playing San Francisco, and you're like, God damn it, dude. Every single person on San Francisco is owned. But there is one person I'm looking at, Jason, because of the cornerbacks.
One guy.
Witherspoon and Woolen or something. I still really like them. I know they got abused, but they held up well for the first half of the game against Dallas, and then they just kind of got beat up. But I'm thinking Juwan Jennings is a streamer, a flex option. I think that he's going to be forced targets on some open stuff. I don't think they're going to try to force it to Ayuk and Debo will get his like manufactured plays, but I don't think they're going to force it so much on the outside as much. I think it's going to be short stuff to Jennings and shit like that.
Yeah, if they could play up to their potential, Jennings, this could be another high-scoring game, right? If they did to the San Francisco 49ers what they did to Dallas, they're going to put up some points, which is going to cause the San Francisco 49ers to score some points, which is a possibility in a divisional game. Because Geno Smith's back, right?
Dude, yeah. And dude, Juwan Jennings, man. I mean, you saw he had 4 targets and a touchdown. I mean, 3rd in targets on the team.
Yeah.
I could see this happening again because of the cornerbacks for the Seattle and as many points as Seattle's been giving up, even with those cornerbacks, Jason.
Yep. I think Kittle and Juwan Jennings could be a good play.
All right, dude. So, you know what? I should have timestamped defenses versus this, but it's probably just maybe all streaming. We'll have to figure this out later for timestamps, Jason. First time doing this. Let us know in the comments if you like our streaming options. That helps us out a lot. We're here for you, man, and for us. 50-50 relationship. So, Jason,
give and take. We're a community of zoners, man. We need everybody put in their information together.
And so this is going to be a terrible, terrible stream, but you know what, man? Sometimes you're desperate, Jason. New Orleans allowing the 4th most points for the last 3 games. The over and under is like fucking 12 on this game, Jason. They are playing Carolina. But, and I think that Hubbard is actually over 50% owned now. I'm sure he is, but he was like not being owned. It was still inches Sanders. I think that people understand that Hubbard is the running back and he's actually pretty good. But Jason, I think that Mingo, you even texted me earlier that Mingo, got 10 targets. I think that if you were in a PPR league, you can stream Mingo in this terrible, terrible game.
Yes. I think the age of Thielen is gone. The age of Mingo.
I think it'd be like 37 or something.
No. What's that Lord of the Rings? Like that orc is all, the age of the human is gone. The rise of the orc is here. Right? Is it something like that?
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Meat's back on the menu, boys. Yeah. We're at that time of the year, too, where rookie wide receivers can really stand out and make a huge case, help you out, aid you in your fantasy lineups. And Mingo looked like he's starting to hit that point. He had 10 targets last game, right? Yeah,
dude. So I think that Mingo but you got to get points for reception. Otherwise, he probably is not going to be worth a start. But yeah, that's going to be a terrible game. And start probably both defenses, and you could probably stream Mingo, Jason. And then, all right, Jason, last defense to target. Cincinnati allowing the 6th most points over the last 3 games, and the quarterback sucks. So you will get a lot of opportunities. They reverse Indianapolis this week, and the only people I can think of off the top of my head are Josh Downs, who I'm pretty sure is still less than, if he's probably going to be dropped a lot after this last week. But Josh Downs, Alec Pierce could be some streaming options against Cincinnati. I would say, and maybe if Zach Moss is hurt, I saw that he got hurt, but I don't think it's going to be for a long time. I can't remember what's going on there. We need to figure out the health of the running backs there. You could probably stream a running back there if he starts as well.
Yeah, I didn't know Zach Moss got hurt.
It was some weird shit I was reading earlier today, and I don't know if it was true or not. So I got to just put a disclaimer in there.
Okay.
There's too much information on the line, Jason.
On the line. There's too much on the line.
All right, dude. So that is our streaming options for Week 14. Jason, how did you like that?
I liked it, and I believe the people listening will like it even more as they advance to the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. You ready to get into our smashes, Jason?
You yeah.
Oh, do you want to go over our starts of the week real fast?
Yeah, we could do that.
I could
let out some frustration.
All right,
Russell Wilson.
Oh, I remember this.
So he was what? Was he home or he went to? I can't remember. I want to block this game out. It was very frustrating. Anyway, he was 15 for 26, only 186 passing yards, but he had 1 touchdown. He also had 1 rushing touchdown. We got to remember the Texans give up the most rushing touchdowns to quarterbacks. And he had 44 rushing yards a game, but he had 3 freaking interceptions. His completion percentage was 57%, and that was 4.4 above expectations. So people were expecting him to be at 53%, which is crazy. His attended air yards was in the third level of the defense, which is good. Like, you want him kind of thrown deep. And as long as completed air yards was 57, which I believe is the highest in week 13, but 3 freaking interceptions. He had 17 points. That's 1 point over his projected points. And then he had to throw an INT in the end zone to end the game, which means he ended with 15 points. 1 point below expectation. You have failed me for the last time, Russell
Went
Wilson.
from a smash to a whatever, Jason, in one play.
Exactly. Because if he would have caught that, he would have scored you 20 points if you got the touchdown. But he didn't, and he got you 15, and it's a dud.
So that's you striking, right? That's a strike.
X marks the spot. That's where I'm at. That's my name.
It also is 10 in Roman numerals. All right. Jason, my start of the week was Ramondre Stevenson. And I was like, oh, yeah, dude, look at this motherfucker. This guy's going to super smash. Look, he's got like all these yards in the first quarter. He's the only good thing about this team. Holy shit. And then, whoa, Ezekiel Elliott's getting a lot of carries. What's going on here? So, yeah, Ramondre Stevenson injured. So I put a question mark there because who knows? But, I do think that Ramondre, man, was probably going to, I mean, it sucks this ankle injury might be stretching to the playoffs, dude. But when their schedule lightened up, Jason, Ramondre's been good. So this team has just sucked. But once they made it through their gauntlet of crazy ass teams, he's been a running back one almost.
Yeah, I think the week before that he scored like 20 points, and then the week before that he scored like 15 points. So he's been on a roll. And you're right, he was doing well against that defense. He was going to do something. So he got hurt. So I wouldn't, it's just forget about it. Either here or there. We can't predict injuries, And
then Jason, this dude right here, one of my secret starts. I had 3 secret starts. Greg Dortch torched my ass. I started him in my fucking 12-man league. I got a point and a half. I think I had 1 reception for 15 yards. So Greg Dortch, first game really that he didn't get hyper targeted. He is a slot receiver, but he was going against Pittsburgh. That game just sucked, dude. Kyler Murray got fucked up. I don't think there was any time to throw the ball. Joey Porter played well. Michael Wilson, though. Go pick up Michael Wilson. Maybe this week.
Yeah, I watched that game too. And there was like a 2-hour delay in that game. Like the timing was just off. It was not a lot of time in the pocket. You have Watt chasing your ass. So
and then Jason, next up I had Curtis Samuel. I said, hey dude, this guy is gonna be great, blah 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 blah. Miami's defense played amazing, but dude, Curtis Samuel was the lone bright spot of that team. I'll give myself a pass on that. That was worth a flex-ish.
What'd he get?
I don't remember. I got to check it. It's like I wrote it on my waiver wire show, and I was like, "Oh, I'll remember that." And now it comes down to it, and I'm like, "I don't fucking remember that."
Well, if I remember, he
right here, I got it. I know he led in target. 4 for 65. So no PPR. You're probably okay, but no, right. I'll put myself in X. But dude, he's the number 1 wide receiver on that team right now.
Yeah, Tyler, I believe he was like 1 inch from scoring a touchdown, too.
Yeah. And then here, I won't get 3 strikes in a row, I promise. Because I said to start Gardner Minshew.
This is the biggest one.
That looked terrible. And then, hey, he threw a touchdown in overtime, Jason.
Oh, my gosh. Like, I was keeping track of this game, and I saw, like, going into overtime, he had, like, 11 or 12 points. And then Tennessee got the ball first, and it looked like they were going to score the touchdown, and that was going to be the game, but no. They kicked the field goal, gave it to Minshew, and Minshew lit it up, and he was able to finish the game with 20 points. I'm like, there you go, dude. There you go. He was projected 13, and he got 20. That is your stream of the week.
So really the only guy I was disappointed in, Jason, was Dortch.
Freaking Dortch. What a Dortch.
And you know what, dude? Miami's defense is playing better than... I heard they were playing good. Apparently they are, so... Smashes, Jason. Let's see. I will tell you who the first smash is. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's the wrong paper.
Well, I'm there right now.
Hey, he was my start of the week last week. Matthew Stafford throwing from a clean pocket, Jason, is insane.
Yeah. He can still make those throws, man. So Matthew Stafford was projected 12 points by ESPN, and he finished with 26, 22 completions on 39 attempts, 279 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. 59 completion percentage, which is minus 6.1 above expectation. Not great. But the Cleveland Browns had no answers for the Rams wide receivers, and Stafford was smart in his attempts. He only had 5% of only 5% of his throws were aggressive, meaning 5% of his 37 attempts were not in tight windows where a defender was 1 yard away. Like he didn't need to make aggressive throws because those wide receivers were able to get open. And after multiple failed attempts at rushing the ball with Kyren Williams at the goal line, Stafford was forced to throw on 3rd down, and he had 2 touchdowns inside the red zone. So that was good. The fact that Kyren Williams couldn't score on his attempts, Matthew Stafford had to step up, and he did the damn thing.
Yeah. Did you see what Sean McVay said after the game?
He's back.
He's got Kyren Williams on his fantasy team.
Oh, I did see that. Like, yeah, he's on my fantasy team. Just kidding.
But yeah, dude, so Jason, Matthew Stafford, over 500 yards and 7 touchdowns over the last 2 weeks. He's completing 67% of his passes without getting sacked or throwing an interception in those 2 games, Jason.
So, I had the Browns defense.
Yeah. Browns defense, what the fuck?
They are slowly betraying me.
So, from our Starts of the Week episode last week, or the week before that, whenever that was, dude, their offensive line for the last month has been like top 5 in pass protection grade and all that stuff. So they have turned a corner somehow, Jason, and it is showing right now. I wish I wouldn't have traded Puka, but fucking Jonathan Taylor forced me to. But yeah, so I mean, he's got the weapons. I do not see much changing, Jason. I do know that he's got like not the greatest. I think for quarterbacks, he's got like the 10th hardest schedule, fantasy playoff schedule, but the wide receivers have the 6th best or 8th best. So I don't know how that works.
Well, next
Matthew
week,
Stafford, dude, he's better than most right now.
Next week, he's at Baltimore.
Yeah, I would not want to. I don't want to start anybody at Baltimore, and Baltimore generates a ton of pressure. Look for Matthew Stafford to take a step back next week.
I hope Kyren Williams gets like 10 receptions that game.
That's probably what's going to have to happen, Jason.
Yeah.
So Matthew Stafford, we're not talking about trading for anybody anymore, but Matthew Stafford, I do think that you should hold on to start in certain situations. Only in situations, it's like Tua. Start when there's not a lot of quarterback pressure that he has to face.
Right. Yep.
Oh yeah. Next up, Jason, we're going to be talking about Chuba Hubbard, 100 yards and a touchdown, Jason.
Yeah, ESPN projected him with 9 points, and he finished with 25 rushes for 104 attempts. That's 4.2 yards per carry. No targets in the game. That's the first time all season. 8 plus men in the box. 33% of his rushes. He had 9 yards rushing over expected and 0.38 rushing yards over expected per attempt. That's not bad against a defense that gives up 17 points to running backs. The 25 rushes are the most all season for Hubbard, and another season high in rushing yards at 104. Also, it's his first multi-touchdown game of his career. This is back-to-back weeks with touchdowns. This was a game the Panthers finally stuck to the run. Usually they abandoned it, but they stuck to it. I wonder if they have like a new coach or something like that.
Hey, that was my point, Jason.
Yeah, Hubbard has done. This was like the best rushing yards over expected all season, but has only rushed more than 15 attempts and 4 times this season. And his road trip continues to New Orleans, who allows 16 points to running backs next week.
Yeah, Jason. So, I mean, you saw what Montgomery and Gibbs kind of did to New Orleans. Not that much now that I think about it. I was watching that game and I was like, look at this, man. They're doing great. And then they would do bad for a little while. But anyways, Jason, Chuba Hubbard, new offensive coordinator. I think it was a special teams coach, is now the head coach. They want to run the ball, and they want to run it with Chuba over Inches Sanders. So that was a huge game for Chuba Hubbard in multiple levels, man. So going forward, he is like a low-end running back too, high-end running back too. He's a running back too, Jason.
I played against him this week, and it was not fun. And now it's like you want to start this guy because of his volume. 25 rushes. And next game against the Saints, he's actually going to get some receptions too. we're seeing this guy potentially get to touch the ball between like 25 and 30 times a game. So now you're just starting him on pure volume.
That's right, Jahmyr Gibbs, man. He had like 8 for 60. I was like, dude, they are awesome. Like Jahmyr Gibbs is awesome. And then David Montgomery would then just plot. Not that great. Jahmyr Gibbs, dude, only 2 targets this last game, Jason. That's crazy.
Yeah. Surprised about
anyways,
that too.
Yeah, I know. Who was it talking about again, Jason?
Chuba Hubbard.
Oh, Chuba Hubbard, yeah, going against the Saints. All right, so Chuba Hubbard, man. He was on my waiver wire show like a month ago, so hopefully you picked him up. He's been doing pretty damn good. All right, next up, Jason, this is what all the shows have been talking about. This is where all the fucking stats are. This guy had 3 touchdowns and X amount of yards and blah, blah, blah. Deebo Samuel. Tell me about him.
Talking about. All right. ESPN projected him 12 points, and he finished with 34. He had 4 receptions for 116 yards on 4 targets, and he had 3 rushes for 22 yards and 1 touchdown, and he averaged 7.3 yards per carry. This is the second time Deebo has been a smash play this season. 7 touchdowns this season, 4 rushing touchdowns, back-to-back weeks with rushing touchdowns, and that is why fantasy managers drafted this guy, was because of his possibilities of scoring even on the ground. Because even though his floor is low, his ceiling is like 34 points, like we just saw. Next week, he is home against the Seahawks. Last time he played the Seahawks, he scored around 20 points. I'm curious if he could score a rushing touchdown in 2 straight games.
Did you talk about his yards after catch, Jason?
I did not, but I know there must be a lot because he took a screen pass 50 yards for a touchdown against a game to like pretty much seal it.
Yeah, every time I go to Next Gen Stats and look at that fucking over expected yards, he's been number 1 since the all year. But he gained a career high plus 88 yards after the catch, over expected in week 13. That is the 5th most in a game since 2018. Samuel has now gained the 2nd most, yards after contact, over expected, plus 174 this season, and the most yards after expected, since entering the NFL in 2019, dude. So since 2019, wow. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. I mean, all you hear about is how he's hard to tackle, and it's like I don't really see him like breaking a lot of tackles, Jason. It's just like he always catches contested balls, and then the guy falls down. I don't. Does that count as a broken tackle? I don't know what that counts as.
Right. I don't guess a contested catch plus broken tackle. I don't know.
Right.
He's on a 2-game tear right now. Like I said, he's got like around 20 points 2 weeks ago, 34 points. Then he plays Seattle again. I wonder if he's now starting to play like the player that you were hoping for all season, because he hasn't really done much. He's in our ESPN league, Tyler. He is wide receiver 39.
Yeah, I remember you telling me because Jason, I was like, man, it sucks. One of my biggest misses was saying that Deebo was a bust, and you're like, well, he kind of was.
Yeah, right now he's still considered a bust, but there's still games to be played. San Francisco seems to be kind of rolling right now. We do talk about how normally the wide receivers kind of take turns on how well they perform in a game. Like, it could be Ayuk's turn next week. It could be Kettle's turn next week.
They have so many weapons. That's the thing. But
yeah,
hey, man, like if you drafted Deebo, like I know that I think people were benching him for a minute. Jason, I think he's a lineup lock while everybody on this team is healthy. Like when everybody's playing their roles, this is what Deebo's supposed to be doing. So
yeah, he only has.
I'm thinking more with offensive line healthy. I guess I don't know.
He only has 3 receiving touchdowns, so he needs to score on the ground to really do something with his life. And remember, now he's going up against Witherspoon or Woolen next week.
Yeah, I know.
So he's probably going to have to score on the ground. We'll see what happens.
And that wouldn't surprise me, dude. So, all right. So that's Deebo, Jason. Next up, this is the guy with the best rookie tight end season of all time is what people are saying now, Jason.
Really?
Even better than Gronk with his 10 touchdowns.
Yeah,
so Sam Laporta.
Well, with Gronk, like he had 10 touchdowns, but he only had like 40 receptions on the year.
Yeah.
So, Sam Laporta, he's the man. He's the guy I'm going to be targeting for next year. He had 9 receptions, 140 yards, 1 touchdown on 9 targets. That is 100% sizzling catch rate. He done well, my friend. He led the team in receptions. Amon-Ra was second with only 2 receptions this game. Saints went into this game giving up 12 points a game to tight ends. There were a few weeks where Dan Campbell unleashed Jahmyr Gibbs, and he was taking Laporta's targets. But Gibbs only had 2 targets this game, and this marks back-to-back weeks that Laporta has scored a touchdown.
Yeah, and that kind of trips me out, Jason, because I'm thinking, I remember we correlated Gibbs going off with targets to Laporta's dip in production. That made sense to me. And then in the preseason, I was thinking about, Laporta, Amon-Ra Brown is almost like their tight end. He works the middle of the field, intermediate routes, stuff like that. But dude, that Ben Johnson, I think that's the coordinator's name. He's made it all work. If he does leave next year, that'd be that would be the only thing that made me hesitant to be drafting Laporta high. But if Ben Johnson's still there, man, Laporta's got a bright career ahead of him. 60 plus receptions, Jason. 675 plus receiving yards, 6 touchdowns through the first 12 weeks of his career. The only other, NFL players to have that: Justin Jefferson, Michael Thomas, OBJ, Marquise Colson, which kind of blows my mind, and Anquan Bolden. So those are all wide receivers. This is like the best tight end thing ever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty crazy stats.
Well, you know what that makes, because Jason, the only guy that Michael Thomas was dude, Marquise Colston, I know he was probably a 6th round draft pick or something like that. And to think that we need to pay attention to the wide receivers that Sean Payton will be drafting for this next season.
Yeah. Well, you also got, when you have Drew Brees throwing you the ball too, that helps.
Yeah, it helps a little bit. But I was just thinking, dude, I forgot how good Marquise Colston was, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
He was running the table for a while in our fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
All right, man. You ready to go to the crashes? Ray, my wife, was walking by and she's like, "Smashes and crashes. That's really good. Did you think of that?" And I was like, "Thanks. You just made me feel really good."
Is that how you said it too? You're all, thanks.
Yeah, I was all tired from working on shit.
You made me happy. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so happy right now. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, Jason, you own this dude. He's had injured fingers that have fucked him up. He's had some other shit going on, but dude, New England, I'll talk about this in a minute, is a tough place to play right now, especially with that weather. Justin Herbert.
Yeah, he was projected 18 points. I know this to be a fact because he was in my starting lineup. Finished with 8. 22 completions on 37 attempts, 212 passing yards, 0 touchdown, 0 interceptions. It's one of his lowest rush team totals on the year as well. Yeah, -5. 59% completion percentage, -6 above expectation. Just like Stafford. But Herbert, this is Herbert's second no touchdown game in the last 5 games. So he has the same completion percentage as Stafford, but Stafford's making those touchdowns right now. His completed air yards was 4.8, and that's one of his lowest totals on the season.
Damn.
Tyler, tell me this. What guy grew up in an area that rains a lot? Who grew up in Oregon?
Not me. Oh, Justin Herbert did.
Justin Herbert. And guess who didn't grow up in Oregon?
Mac Jones. Wait. Bailey Zappi.
The wide receivers for the Chargers, because they all had 5 dropped passes. And one of them was from Keenan Allen. It was difficult for Herbert to complete downfield passes like the Kellen Moore system is built for. But with no touchdowns thrown, Herbert hurt fantasy managers like myself. The reason why I say that is because he still was able to throw for 212 yards. For some reason, they really believed in this guy to continue throwing. But
well, they look at Eckler and they're like, "What the fuck we got going on here?"
Yeah, but the wide receivers also need to be on that side to help him. And they had 5 drop passes. They couldn't throw the ball deep. It was all around the 4.5 area, so he was throwing it really shallow. It's a shitty situation. It was bad weather at New England and Foxborough. Yeah, it was pretty rough to watch.
Jason, I've got written down here, I thought hurricane season was over.
I thought hurricane season... Dude, I had 3 players playing a hurricane this weekend, dude.
But Jason, I do want to talk about the New England Patriots. I think I drafted their defense in the last round or some shit, second to last round.
Okay.
And I held on to them for like a month, and they fucking sucked, dude. They were the worst defense in the league. Over the last 3 games, Jason, they're allowing an NFL best 8.3 points per game to their opponents. Their opponents are only scoring 8.3 points per game over the last 3 games.
Yeah, wasn't this game like 6-0?
It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. The Patriots, man. Check out what is going on there. The thing that is pretty crazy though, Jason, was that you're talking about the depth per target. I do want to, compare Justin Herbert's depth per target to what he was getting last year, because that's what Kellen Moore was supposed to be bringing over. But at the same time, Mike Williams has been injured, and they have not been able to fulfill that role either. So
yeah, they believed it was going to be Quentin Johnson, and before he played this week, but they benched him last week because of the drop passes he had the week before that.
There you go.
It's been a rough ride for Justin Herbert. Still, I believe he is a player that can help you win games. Like he plays against Denver this upcoming week. I think.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say. I just think the woes of Justin Herbert may be over.
Whoa, man! All right. Well, this guy's not helping because people could just focus on Justin Herbert throwing the goddamn ball. They don't need to worry about anybody running fast at him. Austin Eckler. I don't know if he hit 13 miles an hour this week, Jason. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, for real.
So Austin Eckler, tell me about him.
He's all, I want you to pay me $1 million per mile per hour I run.
Yeah.
Okay, where we at? We got, why do I keep going there? Okay, so he was projected 14 points, and he finished with 14 attempts, only 18 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1.3 yards per carry. He also had 2 catches for 9 yards on 3 targets. He saw 8+ men in the box, 14% of his rushes, and yet he still had a minus 26 yards, rushing yards over expected, and minus 2.33 rushing yards over expected per attempt. Normally, when Eckler sees 8 men in the box, only 14% of the time, he's a smash hit. And I put here Patriots allow, and I was going to say how many points they allow to running backs, but I didn't finish that sentence. So I'm moving forward. Eckler is hitting a rough patch in the last 3 games with points of 5, 6.5, and 2. He definitely is not helping fantasy managers get to the playoffs. Next week he will play against the Broncos, who give up the 30 points to running backs, which is first in the league.
So, Jason, since week 6, among 58 qualified backs, week 6 is when he came back, I'm pretty sure, he has ranked 42nd out of 58 in explosive run rate, 46th in yards after contact per attempt. Over those games, he's only surpassed 80 total yards twice. So this guy's been a super bust. And New England, on the flip side, has been amazing in all those metrics. So, dude, I mean, this was kind of a bad matchup for him. But what the fuck, dude? Like, this guy is 28 years old and looking washed. Jason.
Yeah, New England is in the middle of, okay, I'll see it here. New England's kind of like in the middle of the field, giving up 20 points a game to running backs. Yeah, so it's not like it was that tough of a matchup. But then you're like, oh, but it was raining. I'm like, dude, did you see Ramondre Stevens and Elliott run? They looked pretty good out there.
Well, those metrics, those metrics were, since week 7, New England has allowed the 5th lowest explosive run rate and the 3rd lowest missed tackle per attempt and yards after contact per attempt. So I was just comparing, like, dude, like in those certain stats, it just fucking did terrible for Austin Eckler.
Right, and you said that's the last 5 games?
Since week 7, so yeah.
Oh, damn, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Because they've turned it around, dude. So I don't know what's going on there. Next up, Jason. This guy, Terry, Scary Terry, dude, this guy didn't even fucking catch a ball, Jason. What's going on here?
Dude,
McLaurin.
That's funny. I was going to ask you that. Scary Terry, he's definitely scaring fantasy managers now. He was projected 10 points by ESPN, and he finished with 0. He had no receptions on 3 targets. Since week 8 against the Eagles, his production becomes less and less until week 13, where he earned 0 points. A goose egg. This guy probably is the best route runner and has the best hands on the team, but he isn't Sam Howell's guy. I think there was a time earlier in this season where he was producing enough numbers where he was good for your team, but not good enough to kind of like trade away. And now I'm starting to think he should probably be on your bench. I can't trust him anymore. I think we're seeing more of like Curtis Samuel than Scary Terry. And that sucks because you drafted Scary Terry and you probably picked up Curtis Samuel off of waivers.
Well, it sucks because you want this. This offense has been awesome, and so you think that McLaurin would be like killing it right now, being like the badass wide receiver here. But they spread it out, dude. This is like that spread out wide receiver shit that Patrick Mahomes ran for like 3 years with Bieniemy.
Mm-hmm.
But McLaurin, Jason, the second time in a 4-year career that he has been held without a catch. I hope that he gets to sign somewhere else. I mean, it must be his 5th-year option right now. I don't know what's going on there. Only 1 red zone target over the last 5 games, so this guy is their biggest wide receiver, and he doesn't get fucking red zone targets. And 19% target share with Samuel in the lineup, so that is affecting his usage. So, yeah, I mean, just if you have McLaurin, it's not going to get much better for you.
Yeah, I think
it's going to get better than this week, but
it has to be. But I doubt that he's going to be winning you any games coming up to the playoffs because he's hard to trust right now. Tyler, you said it most. Like, look at that offense, and you would think that he would be the guy. I believe personally, in my opinion, he is the best wide receiver on that team, but he's just not being used as it. So,
well, Jason, if you thought that you solved your tight end problems, you were out of the tight end wasteland. Well, Joe Flacco just got off that plane and kicked you right in the nuts.
Yeah.
Njoku was 4th in target share, 24% among tight ends since week 7. Jason, what happened this last week?
I would like to know that too. He was rejected 9 points and he finished with 2. And this was crazy because I watched this game and I feel like every time I like turn my head to watch like my dog, like, scratch yourself.
I think it's shit on the rug.
Shit on the rug. I'm like, damn you, dog. You going to hell. That when I turned back, I feel like I saw David Njoku like get a reception and get some yards. I'm like, damn, he must be killing it. But apparently I only did that twice because he only caught the ball twice for 17 yards. And I put here 16 targets, but that's not correct.
You got 6 targets.
Yeah, you got 6 targets. The Rams give up 14 points to tight ends this season, and those points went to Harrison Bryant. He's the one that caught the touchdown for the tight ends. And this is worrisome for fantasy owners because now we got Joe Flacco behind the helm. Like, is he going to favor Bryant now? Especially in the red zone over Njoku? It's just, that can be pretty frustrating. Like, I feel like you still got to roll the dice next week and play Njoku, but if he's throwing it to Bryant in the red zone, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, dude. So, I mean, what was it? 12 red zone targets this year. That is 4th among tight ends. Joe Flacco don't give a fuck. I wrote that. So, he likes Elijah Moore. And you forget that he brought that connection from the Jets. So, go pick up Elijah Moore. I should have put him on my waiver show.
Yeah.
Jason, I mean, that's pretty much it. But real fast, I just checked the game. The Monday night game is going on right now. Chase Brown has 2 carries. I just dropped Chase Brown. I picked him up because he came back off of IR or whatever. And I don't know if something happened to Joe Mixon, but Joe Mixon only 1 carry. Chase Brown has 2 carries already. That does not make sense to me.
What?
So I need to check the news and see if Joe Mixon got fucked up.
I'm going to look right now for an update.
That sucks because I just got rid of Chase Brown.
How do you spell Joe?
Shut up, Jay.
Okay,
dude. Anyway.
So far so good. Doesn't say anything about being injured, so that's
good,
weird.
I don't want that. I don't like learning that I should have kept players that I dropped.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is the show. Remember to let us know if you like the streaming section. We will return next season with a permanent fixture of that, regardless. But if you like it right now, it would be good to know. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up. Hopefully we earned a subscription. We need your subscriptions, man. We need to take this show to another level. Allow us more time to do this stuff. Jason, please send us out. I need to just send us out.
All right. Fuel the jet. What we got going on? We got a couple more videos coming out this week. We're doing the player applause for Thursday night is the New England Patriots at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm doing the Patriots. Tyler's doing the Steelers. This should be a game where it's 40-40. Electrifying. It's going to be great. It's going to be fascinating. Yeah, right. JK, LOL. And then we got the beer time breakdown at the end of this week. We'll talk to you then. Deuces.
This is Tyler, Big Turn War, Jason, Lucky Bash, and we appreciate you.